transportation shippers thing was on there as well. The car was transported. Some factory cards here, and it says here 205A-ID229323, Elgate with special parts. Hold for Mr. J. Evans, for Frank, Mr. Frank Demiani, whatever. It's wild like this. Frank, you want to sell this junk? Goes, I'm not giving it to you, Kevin. Goes, what is it? Oh, it's a very special LA car that I had to fly it to Detroit. Talked with Duntoff and a guy named Bill Howe and Gip Hustetter about that we're going to prepare 4 cars for Daytona. I said, really? What happened? He goes, the guy, his name was Bob Essex. He goes, a real wealthy guy, and then John Paul Sr. got involved, and I just got out of the whole mess, and I just walked away from it. The car never really did well at the races. I said, what are you going to do with this paperwork? He goes, I don't know, Kevin, you want it? Give me $50 for it. I said, okay. So I gave him a $50 bill, took the paperwork. I said, oh my God, I got all this paperwork, I can't believe it. I don't have a car yet. So sure enough, I got all this paperwork, I got the VIN number, I said, I'm going to go after this car. So I go to my local police friend of mine, he says, run this VIN number. Sure enough, no hit. Go back to Frank. Well, Frank, was car ever registered? He goes, Kevin, the car was strictly a race car. It was special ordered just for racing. There's like 3 or 4 of these cars ever made. He says, guy's name is Bob Essex. It's Essex. What's he? E-S-S-E-X. S. Essex. So I go through the telephone books. Now I'm on a mission now. I'm going to find this guy. I got to go after this car. And everybody's going, you're out of your mind, Kevin. You never got to find this car in a million years. I said, I'm going to find this car. Or at least I know I'm going to find what happened to it. Months go by, telephone books go by, going through the yellow pages, and I get a hold of this guy named Harry Hanley, who's the membership department for the SCCA. I said, look for a guy named Bob Essex. He goes, let me see what I can do, membership, driver's file. He goes, Kevin, he goes, by the way, the spelling of his name, I'm a very bad speller. That's not the right spelling of his name. It's E-S-S-E-K-S. I said, you're kidding me. No wonder I can't find this guy. So I'm going through the books again. Now it's a little bit easier because now I got the proper spelling of the name. And the way Essex was spelled was a little bit unusual, with a K. So I come across this woman from Queens. So I go, hi, I'm looking for a guy named Bob Essex. He goes, oh, what do you want that ass for? He goes, that guy's the biggest jerk in the world. I said, what do you mean? He goes, he's my ex-husband. Oh, you bring back bad memories. Don't ever call me in here anymore. I said, well, you know where he is? He's over in Connecticut. Don't bother me. She hangs the phone on me. Now I know he's in Connecticut. So I'm searching around. I said, I got another friend of mine in Connecticut. I said, I'm looking for a guy named Bob Essex, E-S-S-E-K-S. He goes, let me see if I can find out a license number and get his date of birth. Turns out he was moving on a boat. Turned out he moved 9 times. 11 months now. I mean, every day I'm on this. Every day. Going through scrapbooks, magazine articles, coming up with pictures, the whole bit. I gotta find this guy. Sure enough, I finally find the guy. He goes, oh yeah, I remember going out to St. Louis, not St. Louis, Detroit, meet with the engineers there about the car, get ready for Daytona. I said, whatever happened to the car? He said, oh, I sold to a guy named John Paul Sr. A lot of people know John Paul Sr. Big race car guy, 1 Sebring, bad guy, got into drugs. Turned out he built a marijuana plant that was 3 football fields in length. And how he got caught was that, to grow marijuana, you got to have heat lamps. So he tapped into the telephone pole, and they think there's a live wire loose, and all this current's just going out in the breeze. They couldn't figure out, so planes are going over. He goes, well, we got a bad leak here. Where's all this current going to? 3 football fields underground with heat lamps. All these marijuana plants growing. Sure, they find the leak. They find it's John Paul Sr. that's growing all these plants. And he finds he gets busted. But what does he do? He takes off out of the country. He goes to Europe. He gets plastic surgery, died, takes off his fingerprints off his hands. All his money stashed away. And they're on hot pursuit of this guy. What happens? He gets cornered and he shoots an FBI agent. Shoots him. The guy lives. Shoots him 5 times, I believe. Gets caught, gets back to the States, and here he is, attempted murder. He's in jail for 20 years. I gotta get a hold of this guy. This guy's gonna know where this car is. Now, I said, you know something? I gotta tell people I have this car because I'm really going deep here with this. I'm gonna find this car. I'm gonna tell the guy I know all about the car and I have it. Now he'll tell me all the history of the car. So what do? I read an article in Order Week. It was a 3-part article in Order Week about the story about his life, about his racing, about his drug problems that he had, making all his money. Because everybody knows how he made all his money. Because he wanted the money for racing. So I found out that he went to prison in Florida on a conviction, 20 years. So I called down to the Florida prison and said, "Hi, I'm looking for a guy named Joe